My name's John Rattray. I used to be a pro skater, jumping down big things, skating ramps, and I've had a desk job for around the last 5 years. I've started up this campaign to raise money for the Scottish Association of Mental Health because in 2011 my sister Katrina took her own life. She was a beautiful, hard-working, fun-loving mother, daughter and sister who passed some unseen mental point of no return and left everyone close to her spiraling into a vortex of pain. This part of the campaign involves riding my bike 100 miles to the Oregon coast and relearning eggplants. It's a type of hand plant, upside down. You'll see. I haven't done one in around 8 years, so hopefully I don't shatter my collarbone again. We've got 10 people riding to the coast. John Cardiel, one of the best to ever roll on 4 or 2 wheels, who's come up from Sacramento to ride with. Brent Wick, aka Red Leader. Brent knows the routes best. He's a beast on a bike and very adept with a brush and some ink. Molly Kwan shoots beautiful photos and rides bikes a lot. My friends Marty Regal, Quinn Baser, Benson Kai, and Jonah Ferber are down to support the cause. And Oleg Laskaronsky is my real estate selling, food cooking, multiple language speaking friend who's riding his family shopping bike. So off we rode, down the hill under the old oak trees. Some of us fairly experienced cyclists, some of us hadn't cycled much in years.
Before the ride, I was nervous.
Before we left, I felt scared.
I was actually pretty freaked out.
This is a 100-mile-some-odd ride.
Was I gonna be the weak link?
So I don't ride a bike, so.
I'd only done like a 50-mile ride up until that point.
I think it hit me like after a week. I'm like, oh my God, I am gonna seriously hurt myself.
And we're going to go on our bicycles down to Carlton, out the Nestucca River, head down to Lincoln City. This helps the day along. As we were riding up into the hills, I spoke to John about his brother.
I got inspired to go on the ride because I had saw an Instagram post about John, and he had spoke about losing his sister to suicide. You know, that really hit home to me because I had also lost a brother from a form of suicide, which is a drug overdose, and I feel like it's the same vibes as, you know, somebody that doesn't want to be around no more and they're trying to escape. I was really proud to see my friend reaching out to other people for this cause, to put it on blast and to let people be known that, you know, it's a serious issue, and no matter who you are or what you're dealing with, it's like you don't want to be around, you don't want to deal with your problems or whatever, so you just want to cancel it, you know. But once it's over, man. You might have a lot of personal bumps in the road or things that you're dealing with, and I know I got my own issues. There's always a little light at the end of the tunnel, and I feel like if you can see a little bit of light, that it's worth striving for and it's worth hanging on to. Grab onto that and don't let go.
Who is it that goes into the labyrinth to fight the Minotaur and he leaves the string so he can get out again? I think there's ways like of having those strings in your head, just triggers to help you remember when you're in the darkest places that, wait, there's a way out. You just have to find it. Maybe it's just the optimist in me that believes that there is some specific combination of therapy and chemistry that can help every individual. Or maybe suicide is just an unavoidable calamity of evolution. In some people at some times, there's some sort of self-destruct mechanism that clicks, and the resulting mental chain reaction, left unchecked, can be fatal. Many of us have seen that go down. We didn't realize it was going down until it went down. And many of us have been in those dark places where our thoughts spiral out of control. I know I've been there.
Yeah, I've personally dealt with depression off and on through my life, and I don't openly talk about it. It sucks. There's a fucking stigma around it, and I definitely haven't gotten past that, but I feel like doing this ride participating in it, telling people about it is kind of helping me move past that, because it's so common and people need to talk about it because people don't. And then,
oh man, there'd been a series of phone calls over the years. It never seemed like it was too abnormal. Until there was a point when she called me and she described this shoulder injury she'd had. She'd already been taking something, a tricyclic antidepressant called amitriptyline, and now she'd been prescribed narcotic painkillers because this pain in her shoulder was too much to bear. It made me loopy, she told me, and she described what sounded like paranoid delusions, paranoid hallucinations. We'll never know if that set her off on this doomed course. The psychotherapist told me not to try and comprehend it. There are too many variables that affect our emotional state. I'd known it was bad when Katrina wouldn't even leave the bedroom at her mum's house to come talk to me on the phone. My mum whispered on the phone, "She told me that she's sick and tired of struggling, John, that she's damaged goods." And honestly, alarm bells started ringing in my head right then. But at the time, you can't really notice those alarm bells. Our minds have this incredible capacity to edit out those things that might detract from our ability to continue dealing with the day-to-day survival of life. When my stepfather told me on the phone what happened to Katrina and what she'd done, I hit the floor. When someone close to you kills themselves, it's like having your guts ripped out and shown to you. And none of the questions that swirl through your head have anything even remotely resembling a sensible answer. Since that happened, my cousin changed his career path. The Scottish Association of Mental Health is where he ended up working. His name's Liam.
Remember that night vividly. Was watching Inter Milan versus Tottenham. I remember being in Triple Kirks in Aberdeen and having a number of missed calls from my dad, a couple of messages looking for me, and I knew something was up. One of my grandparents had had a fall, something serious, but not necessarily life and death. And he told me Katrina had killed herself, and it really hit us hard. I remember not being at work those next few days and spending time with family, and just this kind of deep sense of dread throughout the family, and kind of almost self-loathing, and us kind of trying to make sense of what had happened and why it had happened. And I think we still don't know to this day, really. I think there'll always be unanswered questions, as there is with any suicide. Nobody invites suicide into their home, and it can happen to everybody, and that's something we've really got to be aware of, because we sometimes think, well, it's only going to happen to this group of people. You only have to look at the recent deaths of Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington, Robin Williams, for example. Even people in celebrity lifestyle, they've got the fame, the money, it still happens to them.
In Scotland, on average, 2 people die every day from suicide.
We reckon in that adult population, about 1 in 20 of us at any time will be thinking about suicide or will be having thoughts of suicide. So it's not rare, and the stigma that exists with it is therefore unfounded. 1 in 20, that's a huge amount. Think of your journey home from work to go to the shopping. On average, every 20th person you pass will be thinking of suicide. That's huge, 5% of the population. And one of the big things that we can do is speak about it. 3 simple words, are you okay, could lead to a conversation that could save somebody's life.
The things that are making a positive difference with this are things like community-based training that's available to everyone rather than just a specific cohort of professionals. Just ensuring conversations happen like this. Speak about it. Speak to friends. You're not alone. Every single person experiences trauma in life. Life is painful. That's fine. A cramp right here. It's probably from talking and riding at the same time. I need to shut up. Shut up and ride, right? Sometimes that helps too. 70 miles in is where we realised this is a big day. There's 30 miles to go and 2 hours of light. To get there by sunset requires the team to hold at a sustained 15 mile per hour pace for 2 hours straight. And it turns out that a bologna sandwich eaten on a Shell station forecourt is the perfect fuel. 100 miles. Let me just tell you. 96. But I didn't turn it on until 4 miles after the train, so.
John, if you bust out the egg right now, that would be fucking unreal, dude.
I don't have a skateboard.
If somebody's got one,
I got mine in the car, dude. No. I got mine. No. I don't have a board.
dude, you savagely fucking raked one out of your body right now.
And you went to the store.
You like,
Rape one out of your body. That's so funny shit ever. I know.
So tight, glutes right now. The next day was eggplant day. I chose the eggplant for two main reasons. One, as the Beastie Boys said, the egg is a symbol of life. And two, it allowed me to call the trip the Good Egg. Basically, it's an excuse for a pun. Yeah, here we are. We got to Lincoln City. Absolutely beat the crap out of myself for like 50 tries trying to get this eggplant. Legs pretty tired from the 100-mile ride, I suppose. But still, last time I did an eggplant, it took me 2 tries. That was when I was skating a lot. Not skating so much, there's Rick. Joe Brook just on ninja status, moving. Look at the speedy reflexes with. Get his lens out of the way. This is terrible. And then I started trying to get into eggs, just bad form, double hands on the coping, some sort of ho-ho maneuver. Oof, just embarrassing. Bad, like not fully extended, disgusting, embarrassing. Rick, Sean, looking good. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That's the definition of madness. It's just really hard to break away from it once you've settled into a pattern. So that was it, the Good Egg, we did it. We rode to the coast 100 miles. I beat the crap out of myself for around 50 tries until eventually I stuck an eggplant. The photo looked good, the footage not so much. Whatever, I'll take it. I'd like to thank everyone that contributed to the cause so far, everyone that rode with. The mission continues, the work never ends. And I'd say to you out there, go and set something up and raise money for something you believe in.